will be a very worrying stat. 79 minutes per goal involvement in 2019-20 for Fernandes, and we're over 400 minutes at the moment.
It's a real concern for one of their most creative players. And I think maybe when Eriksen comes back, he might have to maybe take him out of the firing line for a little while and put Eriksen in and give him a little kick up the bottom to see if it can improve his numbers, because every player needs that now and again.
Just Spurs and Chelsea to come then for United.
Tough week.
Certainly is.
Well self-edited. Just go.
Where he is standing, Craig Pawson, at the time, doesn't give a penalty, checked by VAR. They didn't feel as though that was clearly and obviously wrong, and therefore they didn't give a penalty. But listen, had Craig Pawson given a penalty, there was no way they would overturn that.
I think what's really interesting here is, I think we all think that's a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah.
OK, it could still be a penalty that we all think, and not necessarily a clear and obvious error.
Yeah,
do you understand what I mean logically?
Absolutely, yeah,
because I think this is what we're getting at. Is it an absolute howler of a decision? Not an absolute. We think it's a penalty. But
I think the big thing is, I think Callum Wilson's got by Varane. Varane hasn't touched the ball. Yeah. Callum Wilson's gone down. I think it's a penalty. Yeah. I think that's a clear and obvious error. I do.
100%. I think when you look at Callum Wilson and the speed he's going at as well, it doesn't even have to be a lot of contact. It's just nudging across his thigh, and when you get at that kind of speed, you're going to go over. So, yeah, for me, that is an error and it's a penalty.
Yeah. That's interesting, of course, because as we all know, the VAR is a subjective decision from somebody upstairs to go, it's not a clear and obvious error.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to say, is it one of those howlers? I mean, we talked last week, didn't we, about Jesus in the Arsenal-Liverpool game, and we did more talking, saying everybody thought it was a soft penalty, and we debate that as we go along.
OK, next one, Ronaldo. Trippier on Ronaldo, left-hand side of the penalty area. Seen these given, Chris?
I love that phrase, Mark. I've seen him given. On this occasion, you didn't see it given. because it's not a penalty. There's minimal contact, and Ronaldo goes to ground very easy, gets his shot off.
Trippier puts his left leg across, almost in where Ronaldo's travelling.
The more I see that,
The more I see that.
I almost feel that Ronaldo's initiated the contact first, though, onto Trippier, maybe up there, and then the legs kind of tangle, and then he goes over. If you look at it here, look, Ronaldo's right arm, he initiates the contact first on Trippier, and then the legs collide. So I'm not quite sure about that one.
I'm not too sure about this one, but I think Ronaldo's trying to strike the ball for goal.
I took it with his left foot.
He's having to wait for the ball to come across to plant his foot to strike it. He hasn't looked for the contact. I think he's got contact. That's a tough one. That's a tight one.
Easy one for VAR to say no error there.
Yeah,
quite an easy one then.
Checked and cleared.
What about Jadon Sancho?
If I was refereeing this game, the last thing I would do in this situation is give a penalty.
Yes.
Because nothing about this looks natural. No. Craig, if I had 400 referees in this room and asked them to put a pin on the pitches where the referee should be stood, that's it. Look where the referee is there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He can't be in a better position. He's seen that. Yeah, there's a bit of contact, but what's the reaction? Does that look right?
That puts you off as a ref, doesn't it? It must. You're a human being.
Doesn't. Listen, there may be contact, but that is just not a natural thing to happen. If you're clearly tripped or you go to ground, if somebody trips you, you fall forward, don't you?
Yes.
To throw yourself in there just doesn't look
So if
right.
he does go over naturally and doesn't jump in the air, does he get a penalty for that? If he gets tripped and then just goes over...
So if he's in that situation, he trips him and he just falls to the ground, you would think that's a penalty. That just doesn't look right to me at all. And there's no way the VAR is going to intervene in that situation for the simple reason, look where the referee is.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of contact.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of contact, but not enough to make you jump and triple Salco and 3 somersaults. It is embarrassing. It's a little bit embarrassing.
There was a sort of line of thought throughout that game, which I think was quite encouraging as viewers, isn't it? About VAR not getting involved, settling with the referee's on-field decision.
Well, that's where we want it to be. We want a decision where everybody goes, that's a penalty and it's clearly missed, and we get the intervention. We don't want interventions on those decisions because between the four of us, we can't agree.
Couple of big chances for Manchester United late on to win it, because that was a frustrating afternoon for them.
Yeah, it was, and they kept coming. I'm just pleased that United are still creating chances. I mean, a few shots from outside the box earlier on. Still getting players forward, which is good. Casemiro, I think, starting to,
starting to simmer, isn't it?
Yeah, put his little stamp on the game with some of his passing and some of his vision and his... I mean, it's a lovely run there from Marcus.
Should he shoot
here? Think he shoot.
Yeah, he's got to shoot. The form that he's in as well. I mean, it's taken him a while to get back to this form. The moment he goes round the goalkeeper, he's got to score. But this is the one. This is the one where you've been waiting, you've been working hard. You get in between the centre half and the fullback. He's got to hit the target, because if he hits the target back where it comes from, he scores.
He's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to do the right thing. Casemiro, bam, lovely little ball, and he's trying to put it into that side net in there. Just gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Gets it wrong.
Newcastle only 1 defeat all season. A few draws, but clearly those stats show that they're going on the progression that Eddie Howe and the owners have for them, that they've embarked upon. 1 defeat all season.
They've been very, very good, you have to say. Without being spectacular, they're doing exactly what you'd expect them to do. They've been difficult to play against. Again, come to a place like Old Trafford. That's where they were going to get a gauge of exactly where they are. Going to a place where they don't usually get positive results. To go there and get a point, I think they'd be delighted with that. But when you've got the likes of Callum Wilson as well, who looks like he's getting back to full fitness, he will score you goals. So I think if you're Eddie Howe, you're really, really pleased about where Newcastle are right now.
I'm pleased that they're going about in that way as well.
Yeah.
You know, they've got all the money that they need to do whatever they want and buy whoever they want, but they're just doing it stage by stage. You know, like slow is fast. If you go slow, you'll get the results in the end. And I like the way that it's being managed.
Yep, not too fast, too soon.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. OK, we're off to Villa Park next for Aston Villa against Chelsea.
That in a second, but I just want to mention Newcastle's defensive organisation. Best defence in the league. Eddie Howe, superb. Done a great job. And it's not just done with pragmatism. You know, they really had a go first half. United pressed high, really improving their level of performance. But United will be disappointed because they got themselves in good positions. Now, I'm a bit confused as to why when you play Ronaldo, you have wingers, right foot on the left and right foot on the left. They're getting numbers in the box and they're finding it really difficult to get crosses in. Fred lashes at one early on. But you'll see what I mean. Sancho again, he doesn't really want to go on his left, and Anthony doesn't. But they're getting numbers forward. Here, it's just about an overhit pass, which is poor, because they're in a great position. Again, playing with good numbers forward. Sancho goes on his own this time, a bit more awareness. Maybe if he was left-footed playing on that side, he'd have seen Ronaldo. He was free. Anthony has been great. He's a goal threat. He's quick. He's courageous with the way he plays. They've got an overload here, look. Can he pick the right pass? He's overstretching on his weak foot to try and put an impossible cross in when Fernandes was there. Again, I think you see that if you've got a right foot on the right. And here's another example. I could have done 10 of these second half. Ronaldo, when you play with Ronaldo, I'm talking about, you don't always have to have a left foot on the left and right foot on the right. But when you're playing with the best header of the ball in the Premier League...
Get it in.
Get it in. Look, where's the space? Use your pace. Go on. Keep going. Ronaldo get in there. You know he will. Back they come. Let Newcastle get back. And it's just really hard to make lots of chances if your wingers are coming back all the time.
And when they did get it in the box...
This is a brilliant pass from Casemiro. Best one of the afternoon. Rashford tries to do the right thing and misses it past the post. And Ronaldo's probably sitting on the bench thinking, I'd have scored that for you.
And on top of all of that,